AI brain and Blackhole are same. Now I prove this. AI and brain are same. Artificial brain. An artificial brain is software and hardware with cognitive abilities similar to those of human brain. Research investigating artificial brains and brain emulation plays three important roles in science. An ongoing attempt by neuroscientists to understand how the human brain works, known as cognitive neuroscience. A third experiment in the philosophy of artificial intelligence demonstrating that it is possible, at least in theory, to create a machine that has earned the capabilities of a human being. A long-time project to create machines exhibiting behavior comparable to those of animals with complex central nervous systems such as mammals and most particularly humans. The ultimate goal of creating a machine exhibiting human-like behavior or intelligence is sometimes called strong AI. An example of the first objective is the project reported by Aston University in Birmingham, where researchers are using biological cells to create new spheres in order to develop new treatment for diseases including Alzheimer's, motor neuron, and Parkinson's disease. The second objective is a reply to arguments such as John Searle's Chinese room argument. These critics argued that there are aspects of human consciousness or expertise that cannot be simulated by machines. One reply to their argument is that the biological processes inside the brain can be simulated to any degree of accuracy. This reply was made as early as 1950. The third objective is generally called artificial general intelligence by researchers. However, Ray prefers the term strong AI. In his book, The Singularity is Near, he focuses on the whole brain emulation using conventional computing machines as an approach to implementing artificial brains. It claims that this could be done by 2012-25. Henry Markman, director of the Blue Brain project, made a similar claim at the Oxford TD conference in 2009. Now, approaches to brain stimulation. Although direct human brain emulation using artificial neural networks on a high-performance computing engine is a commonly discussed approach, there are other approaches. An alternative artificial brain implementation could be based on holographic neural technology, nonlinear phase coherence principles. The analogy has been made to quantum processes through the quasi-synaptic algorithm, which has strong similarities to the quantum mechanical wave equation. Brain is a form of evolutionary software that can evolve brain-like neural networks such as the network immediately behind the retina. In November 2008, IBM received this grant from the Pentagon for research into creating intelligent computers. The Blue Brain project is being conducted with the assistance of IBM in Lausanne. The project is based on the premise that it is possible to artificially rank the neurons in the computer by placing 30 million synapses in their proper three-dimensional position. Some proponents of strong AI speculated in 2009 that computers in connector with Blue Brain and Soul Catcher may exceed human intellectual capacity by around 2050. And that it is likely that we will be able to download the human brain at some time around 2050. While Blue Brain is able to represent complex neural connections on a large scale, the project does not achieve a link between brain activity and behaviors executed by the brain. In 2012, Project Brown attempted to model multiple parts of the human brain through large-scale representations of neural connections that generate complex behaviors in addition to mapping are same. Comparison of black hole and brain. Similarity of information absorption. Do you know movie Edge of Tomorrow? In this movie, brain of alien is same as black hole, so alien can have time travel. Is this possible? Yes, this is the main topic of this lecture. Because brain and black hole are almost same, and I prove it in this lecture. This is a brain which has a limbic system, brainstem, and cerebellum. In this lecture, cerebellum and limbic system are main topic. This is a black hole which is made of photosphere, relativistic jet, event horizon, accretion disk, and singularity. Black hole has time repeat, and that is why in that movie, alien has time repeat. And the time repeat is shown in the following picture. Dog is an event on the surface of black hole, and as it gets into singularity, it repeats its action. In this membrane of black hole, the wave has tides, so the time repeat happens like this. Now I prove brain and black hole are same because they use same mechanism when they store information. First, let's compare the figure of black hole and brain. The figure of black hole is sphere, and surface topology of black hole is S3. As CFT, the surface of black hole has S4 structure. Black hole can have a sphere topology. And the spatial topology of black hole is S3. Time and spatial topology of black hole is R multiplied by S3, which is same as S4. Now we will see figure of brain. Figure of brain is sphere, and as surface topology of brain is S3. And embryology, brain begins as a bone shape which has same topology with sphere, so figure of brain is sphere. As a pre-study, brain has topology of S3, so time spatial topology brain is R multiplied by S3. Now let's compare brain and black hole by information storage. First, black hole stores information of particles near black hole and it stores information on the surface of it, and black hole uses gravity to transfer the information. Black hole stores information like this picture. Brain stores sensory information near it, and it stores information in a cortex, and brain uses action potential to transfer information. This is how visual information is stored in brain, and this is how auditory information is stored in brain, and this is how taste information is stored in brain. This is how olfactory information is stored in brain. This is how sensory information is stored in brain. Now let's see the network in black hole and brain. The network of black hole happens inside the black hole. The network region connecting two anchor points of surface is singular point region. In black hole, strings connecting two regions of surface is a structure transferring the network. So as more heavy particles get into black hole, the network becomes stronger. This is a network in a black hole. The network of particles in black hole can be shown as diagram. And as the particles get farther, the network should be stronger and close to singularity. In brain, network happens in white matter, and the network region connecting two anchor points of surface is corpus callosum and commissure minor, forceps minor and major, which connect two hemispheres of brain. And the structure transferring network is commissure fibers and association fiber, which are fiber structure connecting two regions of surface and locate in white matter like string. Connectome is a structure connecting two regions of cortex, and it is for network of information. There is a short association fibers where short range of network happens. This shows long range networks which cross the middle point of brain, corpus callosum. This is the discussion. Now I will explain this. So as a conclusion, I showed brain and black hole have same structure for information storage, and now I compare every structure for information storage. The figure of black hole and brain is sphere. The topology of surface is S3 for brain and black hole, and the spatial temporal topology of black hole and brain is R multiplied by S3, which is S4, and information stored in the black hole and brain is the information near them. And information is stored in surface of black hole and brain, and network happens inside black hole and brain, and networks between two hemispheres cross center of black hole and brain and black hole use specific power to transfer information, and the structure to transfer to transfer network is two strings and fibers in black hole and brain. There is a precedent research. There are many good pre-study about comparison between brain and black hole. First, black hole as brains. Black hole as brains neural network between with area low entropy. In these papers, information storage of black hole and brain use same spin network. A new spin on the quantum brain. In these papers, brain network is same with black hole network because spin network using calcium in brain is same with spin network between quirky anti-quark in black hole, and brain uses same mechanism for information storage. This is Matthew Fisher, who proved the quantum processing in the brain. Since Umezawa studied quantum effect of brain in 1967, there has so many research been done. This is the research. Okay, thank you, my friend. This is Blackhole Mathematica. AI and black hole are same. What I want to talk to you about today is the holographic principle and how it provides an explanation to deep learning. The holographic principle is a theory that explains how quantum theory and gravity interact to construct the reality that we are in. The motivations for this theory comes from the paradox that Hawking created when he theorized that black holes would emanate energy. The fundamental concept that had been violated by Hawking's theories was that information was destroyed. As a consequence of this paradox, through several decades of research and experimentation, physicists have brought forth a unified theory of the universe that is based on information theoretic principles. The entire universe is a projection of a hologram. It is entirely fascinating that the error of time and the existence of gravity are but mere manifestations of information entanglement. Now, you may be mistaken to think that this holographic principle is just some fringe idea from physics. It appears at first to be quite a wild idea. Apparently, though, the theory rests on very solid experimental and theoretical underpinnings. Let's just say that Stephen Hawking, who first remarked that it was rubbish, has finally agreed to its conclusions. So at this time, it should be relatively safe to start deriving some additional theories of this principle. One surprising consequence of this theory is that the hologram is able to capture the dynamics of the universe that has the order of d to the n degrees of freedom. One would think that the hologram would be of equal size, but it is not. It is a surface area and is proportional only to n squared. This begs the question, how is the structure of order n squared able to capture the dynamics of a system in d to the n? In the meantime, deep learning coincidentally has a similar mapping problem. Researchers don't know how it is possible for DL to perform so impressively well considering the problem domains. Search space has an exceedingly high dimension, so Max Tegmark and Hangli Liner Harvard have volunteered their explanation. Why does deep and cheap learning work so well? In their paper, they argue the following. Although well-known mathematical theorems guarantee that neural networks can approximate arbitrary functions well, the class of functions of practical interest can be approximated through cheap learning with exponentially fewer parameters than generic ones. because they have simplifying properties tracing back to the laws of physics. The exceptional simplicity of physics based on functions hinges on properties such as symmetry, locality, compositionality, and polynomial law probability, and we explore how these properties translate into exceptionally simple neural networks approximating both natural phenomena such as images and abstract representation thereof such as drawings. The authors bring up several promising ideas like the no-flattening theorem, as well as the use of information theory and the renormalization group as explanations for their conjecture. I, however, was not sufficiently convinced by their argument. The argument assumes that all problem data follows natural laws, but as we all know that DL can be effective in unnatural domains. See, identifying cars, driving, creating music, and playing Go as trivial examples of clearly an unnatural domain. To be fair, I think that they were definitely onto something, and that's something I discuss in more detail. In this article, I made a bold proposal with an argument that is somewhat analogous to what Tegmark and Lim proposed. Deep learning works so well because of physics. However, the genesis of my idea is that DL works because it leverages the same computational mechanisms underlying the holographic principle, specifically the capability of representing an extremely high-dimensional space with a country number of parameters of order and scale. The computational mechanism underpinning holographic principle can be most easily depicted through the use of tensor networks. Tensor network notation is as follows. The value of tensor networks in physics is that they are used to drastically reduce the state space into the network that focuses only on the relevant physics. The primary motivation behind the use of tensor networks is to reduce computation. The tensor network is a way to perform computation in a high-dimensional space by decomposing a large tensor into smaller, more manageable parts. The computation can then be performed with smaller parts at a time. By optimizing each part, one effectively optimizes the full larger tensor. In the context of the holographic principle, the meta tensor is used, and it is depicted as follows. In above, the circles depict these entangulars and the triangles isometries. One can look at the dodge from the perspective of mapping. That is, the Circus Man matricized to other matrices. The triangles make a matrix and map into a vector. The key node here is to realize that the compression capability arises from the hierarchy and entanglement. As a matter of fact, this network embodies the mutual information chain rule. In other words, as you move from the bottom to the top of the network, the information entanglement increases. I've written earlier about the similarities of deep learning with holographic memories. However, here I am going to make one step further. Deep learning networks are also tensor networks. Deep learning networks, however, are not as uniform as a mirror network. However, they exhibit similar entanglement as information flows from input to output in either a fully connected network or a convolution network. The information are similarly entangled. The use of tensor networks has been studied recently by several researchers. Miles Stoudemire wrote a blog post, Tensor Networks, putting quantum wave functions into machine learning, where he describes his method applied to MNIST and CIFAR-10. He writes about one key idea about this approach. The key is dimensionality. Problems which are difficult to solve in low-dimensional spaces become easier when lifted into a higher-dimensional space. Think how much easier your day would be if you could freely move freely in the extra dimension we call time. Data points hopelessly intertwined in their native, low-dimensional form can become linearly separable when given the extra breathing room of more dimensions. I'm not sure have also done work in this space. Their latest paper, Tensor Mixture Models, proposes a novel kind of convolution network. In conclusion, the holographic principle, although driven by quantum computations, reveals to us the existence of a universal computational mechanism that is capable of representing high-dimensional problems using a relatively low number of model parameters. My conjecture here is that this is the same mechanism that permits deep learning to perform surprisingly well. Most explanations about deep learning revolve around the three 90s that I described here. These are expressivity, trainability, and generalization. There is definite consensus in expressibility. That is a hierarchical network requiring less parameters than a shallow network. The open questions, however, are that of trainability and generalization. The big difficulty in explaining away these two is that they don't fit in any conventional machine learning notion. Trainability should be possible in a high-dimensional non-convex space. However, simple SGD seems to work exceedingly well. Generalization does not make any sense without the continuous manifold, yet GANs show quite impressive generalizations. The above figure shows the stack gun generating given text description input images in two stages. For the stack gun, there are two generative networks, and it is difficult to comprehend how the second generator captures only image refinement. There are plenty of unexplained phenomena like this. The holographic principle provides a base camp to a plausible explanation. The current mainstream intuition of why deep learning works so well is that there exists a very thin manifold in high-dimensional space that can represent the natural phenomena that it is trained on. Learning proceeds through the discovery of this thin manifold. This intuition, however, breaks apart considering the recent experimental data. The authors of the rethinking generalization paper write, even optimization random rebels remains easy. In fact, training time increases only by a small constant factor compared with training on the true levels. Both the tag-mark argument and the thin manifold argument can possibly work with random data. This shows only to the hypothesis that there should exist an entirely different mechanism that is reducing the degrees of freedom. So the computation is feasible. This compression mechanism exists can be found in the structure of the DL network, such like it exists in the Mertens network. Conventional machine learning thinking is that it is the intrinsic manifold structure of the data that it needs to be discovered via optimization. In contrast, my conjecture claims that the data is less important, rather it is the topology of the DL network that is able to capture the essence of the data. That is, even if the bottom layers have random initializations, it is likely that the network should work well enough subject to learned mapping at the top layer. In fact, I would even make a bigger leap in our quest for unsupervised learning. We may have already overlooked the fact that neural networks have already created its own representation of the data and instead of random initialization. It is just our inability to interpret that representation that is problematic. A random representation that preserves invariances may just be as good as any other representation. Beyond cake might already be represent that it is just the icing and cherry that needs to explain what the cake represents. Not to reader, in 1991, psychologist Carl Prippham with physicist David Bohm has speculated about holographic brain theory. I don't know the concrete relation between the brain and deep learning, so I can't make the same conclusion that they made in 1991. I leave you with one quote from Demis Hassabis of the Mind. I believe that one day Information will come to be viewed as being as fundamental as energy and matter. So, brain, AI, black hole are same.